Welcome on board episode 3 of my 16-night Moroccan Passage on board Sky Princess. Episode 1 featured my travel to Fort Lauderdale and embarkation day. Episode 2 featured the first few sea days. Join me in this episode as I eat and drink my way through another 2 sea days and in our first port of call in Funchal Madeira. Saturday the 19th should have been our first port of call in Poncha via Azores. However, we did not stop here due to the weather. It is quite common for cruise ships not to stop here, so be prepared to miss this port of call if it's featured on your itinerary. Have you managed to sail into Poncha before? Tell me about your experiences in the comments below. Fortunately, I did manage to get here once before, although the weather was absolutely atrocious. Today I attended a port presentation on Lisbon and an enrichment presentation, The Princess Story, How the Love-Boat Grew with Fran Snyder. On Sunday, our last sea day, before docking in Funchal Madeira tomorrow, I attended an enrichment presentation, JFK and the Cuban Missile Crisis by Fran Snyder, and also a second presentation by Franz that afternoon on the art and science of navigation. However, there was a second enrichment presentation in the morning from a guest on board, just to add a little variety into the speakers at last. It was the Platinum Queen 70 Years of Celebration by Thomas Mace Archer Mills. You can look Thomas up online, he's quite controversial, but he did give a good presentation. If you watched episode 2, you'll know I had difficulty getting a letter confirming we missed the port of Poncha. I finally managed to get one today from the tour office. Persistence paid off, but dealing with Princess Cruises' incompetence throughout the cruise is not how I anticipated spending my holiday. On Monday the 21st of March, we spotted land for the first time in over a week. What a beautiful morning it was as we approached Funchal. I was previously here in January, and once again I was up early for the sail-in and saw the pilot boat come alongside. Of course, finally nearing land meant every person on board, whether staff or crew, could now attempt to access the shore telephone network and check in with friends, family and current affairs. We'd had no internet for over a week, quite unusual in today's modern times. As a solo traveller who enjoys cruise vlogging, I really had missed not being able to see what everyone else was up to and not show what I'd been up to. Princess Cruises advertise themselves as setting the industry standard for internet at sea and even claim the best Wi-Fi at sea. Don't just take my word that this is false advertising. Have a look at cruise websites and Twitter and you can see Sky Princess has unresolved issues with the internet and medallion net, and they are certainly not keeping their guests happy. I've included some comments from others to demonstrate my point. Today, I enjoyed breakfast in my stateroom. This is something I do on port days, as I can watch the sailing from my balcony, and it also helps manage my time so I can be first off the ship, or certainly at the meeting point on time when I've booked a ship's tour, as I had today. Before I disembarked for my food and cultural walking tour of Funchal, which cost $160, I used the phone network to complete a passenger locator form for entry into Lisbon. This was compulsory due to COVID-19. My food and cultural walking tour of Funchal started with a choice of tea and cake at Loja de Chá, which is a tea house. I chose a cheese pie with wild berries jam. This is a regional pie. I think the tea was a specialty fruit tea. Next we walked to Fábrica Santo Antonio, established in 1893 as the first biscuit manufacturer in Madeira. Here we tried traditional sugarcane honey cake and a traditional cookie. We then walked to a farmer's market, Mercado dos Lavradores, excuse my pronunciation, which opened in 1940. We saw the flowers and vegetables of the island being displayed and sold. We sampled Madeira wine and handmade chocolates in U Cacao. One was passion fruit and the other sour cherry, again both regional specialities. Afterwards we walked through a fish market and some old traditional streets, Rua de Santa Maria, the art of the open doors. We then visited a bar and saw traditional making of Poncha before going next door to a restaurant for traditional Madeiran food and wine. Most of the group said they were going to complain about the cost of the tour as they didn't think they had value for money. My experiences told me they wouldn't get anywhere, and indeed when I saw them on board they were simply thanked for their feedback. Whilst I agree it was on the pricey side, I had enjoyed these unique experiences that I wouldn't have had if I had not taken the tour.
Yeah. 50 years ago we used to make Poncha with the rum was 60-70%.
Oh, yeah.
That was more fun. You could say fresh orange.
Also we have lots of orange from the south of Portugal, from Algarve, Extremor, and it's not the time for the orange. Of course nowadays we have orange through the year, but in Madeira when we have the orange it's a Christmas time mainly. But the weather in Madeira from lemons and orange from the citrus is not very good because of humidity. Orange, yes.
Oh, the honey?
The honey. Frozen. Lemon juice. Yeah. Yeah. Because the honey, it depends if you want more sweetly or less. And also, of course, the taste of the honey with the lemon, it cuts a little bit the alcohol. It seems that it cuts, but all the alcohol is its source.
No, we call this the Carolina, but we call it the magic stick. This is a bad word in Portugal. Carolina. No. It's not a bad word, but it's dirty mind, you know.
It kills your brain.
Not that true.
It goes anywhere when you get old. It knows what will happen.
After we make the poncha, we have to roll it. Shake it again. And it's done. ago, people used to say this poncha, the original, was the rich poncha for the food. Because it has the honey and the orange. So poor people didn't have the money to buy the orange and the honey. It was too expensive. So this is why they invented the fisherman poncha. It was the first poncha ever made.
Yeah, with sugar.
Yeah, sugar was cheaper and the lemon was cheaper. Then people, like a young boy from Funchal, the rich ones, went to Camargo, the fish village, and I want a poncha. It's too strong for me. So, orange, honey.
He's from Camargo village.
Nope.
No.
See? 12. He has two for me.
Okay, you can take one and then you can have a sit outside. I think it's nice.
So back on board to hear again from our captain that our Moroccan passage would not be calling at Morocco, as the paperwork had not been completed in time despite a great deal of work they have put into completing it. I'll let the captain explain it himself.
We will no longer call to Casablanca, Morocco on Wednesday on March 23rd. So ladies and gentlemen, Casablanca has been closed for cruise ships throughout the pandemic, so almost 2 years now. And we've been working with the local authorities in Morocco, in Casablanca, until the very last moment in order to be able to call in there as scheduled. And in fact, we wouldn't been the first cruise ship since pandemic to go to Casablanca. So as I said, we did do everything we possibly can through our agents. However, we did not manage to get all the required approvals and authorities to sign all the required paperwork on time. And then on the very last moment, yesterday evening, the final decision was made.
So our Moroccan passage is now more of a Moroccan bypass. Hopefully I'll have the opportunity at a later stage to tick off the African continent. But thank you for watching and hope to see you in the next episode. Please like and subscribe, it really does help me out. Thank you.